Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Bat Châtillon 155-55, the Tier 9 French SPG. This one's located on the southwest spawn of Karelia, and it's under the command of UbumPong of the KIWI clan. And yes, he does have something to do with KIWI land, the land to the east of Australia, where the Kiwis live. Game on! 2 marks of excellence on the barrel, and it's a barrel you're going to see a lot of because this is actually a 2 replay video, 2 games that UbumPong sent in, and he's actually quite good with this Arty. Of course, this is an Arty that was proposed by the French, and it's got a rotating turret which will turn all the way around, and that makes it useful because you can actually park this Arty anywhere to have an escape route. And if you want to avoid counter battery, all you need to do is just move sideways slightly. Okay, well, the first target he's going to go for is on the horseshoe. Always nice to hit the enemy tanks as they come up onto the horseshoe. Gives them something to think about. Well, he's stunned the Bat Chat 25 times, and RS90 took advantage. And he's now got his communications expert working. So 2.5% extra on crew skills. Now this is an Arty with a single shot, but it's a fast reload, or at least quite fast. Okay, almost loaded, rounds out on... Yes, he got him. The Shure MV7X, very thin armor, and he stayed around too long, and UbumPong claims his first victim. Now this Arty RS90 got spotted, but he's done the smart thing and pulled back. In the meantime, we've got a number of other tanks who are chancing their arm on the horseshoe. It's not always wise to go up there, you know. Sometimes it's not a good idea. Rounds out the BZT. Lands right alongside him for 147, but it's a stun. It's really helping because he's building it up. 696 so far, and the Ara is up on top of the hill. We can probably take him out. Oh, he's gone. Put another one into that guy. Rounds out straight away. Now he flinched almost as if he knew a round was inbound, but he thought he could weather it, and of course he did, but he lost 185 hit points. Lost sight of him, but he's judged that he's probably around about there. Now, just yesterday, I think it was yesterday or one of the days before, I actually mentioned that if we get a single video, so just one video on its own, even if it's just a video which lasts a full 15 minutes, we won't actually put in between ads or... oh, that was a direct hit! We won't put ads in between on a single video, single replay video, just like the Mighty Jingles is doing, to allow you to watch unmolested by YouTube. I know it's a funny way to say it, but no, it's not nice actually. They put the videos in sometimes, the ads in, and of course then you have to click through those to get to watch the rest of the battle. That RS90 is about to get reamed. Yeah, the Centurion 7-1 comes in behind and says, thank you very much, I'll have that. He also knows that so long as he's on that wall, he's safe. We can't hit him. Yes, if it's a 2 replay video, though, we will put intra video clips so they can put ads in between, but we won't do it on a single video because obviously it's much nicer for enjoyment if you don't have to click through and get those ads in. I don't mind missing on the revenue. I think Jingles doesn't either, but Jingles gets a lot of money from all of his friends. He gets a lot. He's a bit like Voldemort. Voldemort gets a lot of money as well. In fact, we tried to work out how much Quickie Baby actually does earn the other day, and it came out that on the short side, on the the reasonable side, he probably earns something in the region of about 600,000. Of course, he's never going to confirm that, because if he did, then obviously there'd be a reduction in the amount of money he gets sent. But that's from various sources, not just the tips he gets, not just the people who subscribe to his channel, but it's also to do with the merchandise, because of course he does do merchandise. And yes, he gets a share of all the revenue. So yes, he's a fairly well-off guy. And somebody else, not me, somebody else worked out how much money he was actually getting, and they put it all together, and they said that Quickie Baby is probably earning about 600,000 a year. But obviously he has an accountant to make sure that he maximizes his return on that. Well, the Yongbing has gone down, and with 3 tanks up on the enemy, it's still not time to actually charge across the battlefield and get to the other side, because they still had a number of tanks. He did get that direct hit on the Waffenträger, but we haven't seen any of those guys again, because our guys are very reluctant to move forward. But we have got a tank destroyer hiding behind the rock. It's a Guerrilla 15. Rounds out. Long flight time. Direct hit! Oh, well, he did pen. 294. That's a non-pen. This 155mm howitzer is capable of 680 alpha, 48mm of pen, 7.6 meters on the burst range, between 12 and 27 seconds of stun. And he only got 294 from that, which is a non-pen shot. Rounds out. And that time he hit again. Now, I would have expected him to suddenly disappear. And yes, there is counter battery coming in. And this time around, he did stun us. And the Bat Châtillon 155-58. So the remaining Arty on the enemy team, which is a GWE100, seems to know his stuff. In fact, I can report that I had a game earlier today. Oh, he got him this time! Yes, he splashed him. The guy was hugging the rock, but this time around, the round landed just close enough to actually get his kill. That's the second. Yes, I was having a game earlier today. It was on Bigensk, and I was in a GW Tiger P, because of course I'm working on that one. And the enemy Arty tried to counter battery me straight off the mark, because an enemy ELC Ever 90 managed to spot me as I was pulling away from my spawn position. And so he hit me for 1 round. But of course, I checked where the trajectory came from whilst I was on the move. And then as soon as I was set up, I did the favour and actually took him out of the game just like that. Yeah, sometimes counter battery is counterproductive. Rounds into that Progetto, splashed him for 107, but he did get 398 from, was it 368 from stun assist. Yes, so not always a wise decision to counter battery. I know, yes, sometimes some people will say, well, if the enemy Arty is spotted, why not go for it? But the problem is that you upset the enemy Arty enough, he'll say, right, I'm going to make this my job to take you out. And he placed that shell in just the right spot. The Progetto did take some, got tracked, and then his teammates actually took him out of the game. So in the Progetto 65. So now we can move forward, because there's only 3 left on the enemy team. And of course, UbumPong knows that the closer you are to the enemy, the more chance you've got of getting a quick shot that will actually do significant damage, and you might even get a kill. And this Arty does move rather quickly, 56.3 kilometers an hour. Now the 3 enemy tanks remaining, a Waffenträger, that's the one we've hit before, a Sharp U-4, and the GWE100, who's probably up near the cap area. Well, that's where the Waffenträger was last seen. We're going to fire a blind round in. Got a better angle now. The standard reload for this Arty is 28.76, and I think you can see that Ubong has got 23.08, so he has reduced it by 3 seconds. I don't know what our Wizzy 114 is doing in there, but he's not helping. Are you actually active? I think he may have disconnected. Yeah, so I think that guy's disconnected. So we're looking up in the corner. Our standard B's fairly close, but he hasn't got close enough to actually spot the guy yet. But we're looking for that tracer as well. There's the sharp future, and we turn the turret. Dials in very quick. Unfortunately, he's way too close to the rock. Getting a red line from the rock. Rounds out. And nice direct hit. The enemy GW has been taken out. And now there's only one enemy remaining. And as far as we can tell, yeah, it's the Waffle. I'm sure that Wizzy is actually inactive. There he is. He's moved. Oh, gets hit from two directions at the same time. Rounds out. And the kill shot goes in from the standard B before we can get our round there. So that is the end of the game. And it's a victory. Here's the end of battle results, and that was an ace tanker game for UbumPong of KIWI Clan in the Bat Chat 155.55. He managed to get a bronze medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 11. Got a gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points for his own vehicle. And he hit so many of the enemy, he actually ended up getting a Confederate, even though he killed 2 of the enemy tanks. So yes, he must have just qualified for the Confederate. Let's have a look at the win 8. 5,476. So super unicum and quite a bit more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he actually got the highest damage in the game in that one. I know, no high caliber because it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool, but he got 3,997. Second highest damage that was just beaten was the standard B, who got the last kill as well. And that guy got 3,949 hit points of damage. So yes, he probably a bit peeved that he didn't get the high caliber as well. He got 11 slayers and a top gun. And the third highest damage, well, that turned out to be the Waffle on the enemy team with 3,380. When it came to kills, of course, it's the standard B. He got the top gun, 6 kills for him. 4 kills went to the Waffle and 2 kills went to UbumPong and to the Progetto 65 and the Gorilla 15 on our team. Only 5 players managed to get kills on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, he's in second place because the standard B managed 1,216. Then he got 1,207 base experience points. And they were the only 2 managed to get over 1,000 base, with the RS90 providing 755 in third spot. He fired 19 rounds, so you can see he's pumping those shells out as fast as he can, making them work for him. 9 direct hits on the enemy, 4 penetrations, 4, would you believe? That's a lot. 12 splash, 3,997, all of it at more than 300 meters. Now, just a quick check to see which ones did he penetrate. Well, funnily enough, he did penetrate the Gorilla. That was on the shot where he actually, I think one of those shells did definitely pen, one of the blind shots probably. But he did kill him off in the end, probably by splash. The Shure Mini, yep, it went through that one because they don't have much armor. So when he just sat there, he was the perfect target. And he also penetrated the sharp future. And did he penetrate the Waffle? Yes, he did. He got that through the gun shield for 788. So yeah, a lot of penetrations in that game. Very worthwhile. He also got 2 hits by way of splash damage because the GWE 100 couldn't take a joke. And I say that, but actually, no, he was being good. He could see that the 2 Artys were very close to each other. So he was just putting the shells in to try and disrupt and damage. 8 enemy vehicles, 2 kills. So he had just qualified for that Confederate. 2,808 stun assist or 14 stuns, and that got him an ace tanker. On a premium count, he earned 69,981 credits from that game. He got 25 bonds from mission achievement, and he took away 10,865 experience points, including another mission completion of 7,244. So good game on that one. So this is the end of the first game. Let's have a look at the second one. The second replay is on the north spawn of Fisherman's Bay. Game on. Only one Arty on either team in this game. The enemy Arty is an M53, M55. I reckon the matchmaker must have taken pity on the enemy and give them a good Arty, because of course they must realise UbumPong is actually quite good with his Bat Châtillon 55-55. He's ready to roll. First target he sees though is down in the town, and it's a Viz 55. He can't really get at him from this angle. Not easy. But the second one that turns up is the BZT-70, and he can hit that guy. And he splashes the guy, but he doesn't get any hit points on that one. As you can see, he's using the bounty equipment. He's got a bounty rammer, bounty gun lane drive, and the rotation device. So of course that helps to decrease the dispersion, or the amount of dispersion when you actually change the aim. I thought for a second he was actually going for the Viz 55. This Peacekeeper seems to have popped up, and now we've got that Tiger Mouse as well. That's probably the better target to go for, because the buildings are more likely going to get in the way for the others. Yeah, the top of the rooftop might actually take that one. Oh, he didn't. He managed to get it over, but he only stunned the Peacekeeper, but he gets the rest of stun assist, so it did work after all, and I was wrong. Now, it looks to me like that Viz 55 is trying to get around the Tiger Mouse, who is so busy shooting up at our guys that he's not giving the Viz 55 a clear run. Rounds out. Direct hit. Now, which one did we hit? The Viz 55 or the Tiger Mouse? I think we probably hit the Tiger Mouse, but okay, we've got a KR1 using the Peacekeeper wreck as a piece of extra armor, and he's pushing it. Rounds out. Direct hit right on the turret roof as well. Well, it looks to me like the enemy Leopard right down the south of the one column is playing very defensively. Aras has got to the windmill and he's not actually doing anything. Look at that shot right on top of the where the gunner would be, rather. So that gunner must have had a headache after that, and he gets hit again, and another direct hit. Wow. So 2 hits now. And it looked like the other one was actually slightly on the rear. You can see the mark there, the big yellow mark. Okay, we're loaded. Going for the Viz 55. He's on the corner, but he changes his mind, and the guy's moved away. So we're looking for a new target. We can get a shot on that Object 430U, and it's rather nicely positioned for that. Rounds out. Well, it landed where he was, so whether or not he did any damage, we'll have to wait and see. Enemy Arty firing, and yes, he knows where we are. I heard the rumble, and normally when you hear the rumble, somebody's actually fired in your general direction. That wreck is moving, so somebody is still sitting behind the wreck. Rounds out. Direct hit. So we will have to keep moving now to avoid getting counter-batteried. Nice. It really is a good Arty for doing this sort of thing, because you can just move just slightly and it completely throws off the line. That PTZ-78 is sitting there with his rockets going. Unfortunately, moving forwards just slightly has made it a little more difficult to get the shot on that Object 430U. He's decided he's going to fall back a little bit just to open up the angle. Goes back to the aim. And enemy Arty firing in our general direction again, but not at us. He went for the Leopard 1. And he got a direct hit there. That was definitely a direct hit on the Object 430U. Okay, he's changed position, nicely lined up. Now the enemy seems to be pushing quite hard in the town area. We're loaded, rounds out. Good strike. 2 tanks with 1 shot there. Hit the Tiger Mouse and the BZT-70. Suddenly, someone kindly asked, how is it you're actually speaking much clearer now in the videos? It's actually because I'm actually closer to the microphone. I was too far away from it, I think, on previous games. That was a good shot onto the engine deck. Yes, he said it's much easier to hear you now. Which is rather kind, really, because I think most people, well, I'm not sure if most people didn't want to hear me at all. They want to see the games. Rounds out. Oh, he hit something. And it didn't do any damage. I think he hit the tank. But it did absolutely nothing. Now look at that. He's actually put the green line over the top of the wreck into the PTZ. Or PTZ rubber. But instead he's going to go for the KR1. Because this guy sitting down here all alone, with a few hit points, and yes, he's a splash kill. So that's the first kill for UbumPong in this game. Okay, Kampfpanzer EK1 moves. There's the 430U. Okay, he's predicting he's going to stay on that corner area. Go for the EK1, rounds out. Lands just in front of him for 152, and he goes down, which means we got the rest of the stun assist. He's already over 2,000 on stun assist in this game. That's a good indication this might be an ace tanker game. PTZ trying to change position, turns around, fires. You can see why the Leopard is so dug in there, because he's hiding behind the bunker, just poking out to take a shot and pull back in again. But this PTZ, well, now he is vulnerable, because he's out in the open. And we're loaded. Rounds up. And he tracked him, and the guy takes damage. He's gone, and that's more stun assist. 1,300 in that one. 3,561 in total, and that's not including all of the rest. Yeah. There's only 3 enemies left, including the Arty, but we're going to go for the T-54, I think. Rounds up. PTZ 78 trying to use the rockets to ram the T-54 to death. And he's gone. And that means the Arty is the last one alive. There he is. Bravely going. Rounds out. Okay, so he's got the stun. And yes, he got all the stun assist off that one as well. Here's the end of battle results of the second game, and that was another ace tanker game. Well, it wasn't much in question because he got so much stun assist that it was bound to be an ace tanker. I don't think there's any real question in it at all. He also managed to get a line of Sinai out of that one for killing enemy IS tanks, or the IS series of tanks in that game. It's all of them, at least 100 tanks of that type. He also managed to get a bronze medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 7, and he got another Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. His win rate in this one wasn't quite as high, 2,157, but the effect was pretty good as well because the fact that he managed to get so much stun assist. You can see that he didn't get the highest damage. That actually went to the FV215B183, the Death Star. He went into the town. He got 4,370 hit points. Second highest was the BZT-70 on the enemy team, 4,234. And the third highest, well, that turned out to be their PTZ-78 with 3,749. UbumPong managed to get 1,948. Well, there was a lot of people ahead of him, so I'm not going to mention where he was in the table, but he was over the halfway mark, I think, at least, because we can see that there's at least 6 players on the enemy team, and looking at that, 8 players on his own team, so that's 14. That puts him 15th, yeah. When it came to kills, though, we can see top scorer was the Leopard 1 with 3 and the KR1. 2 kills went to the Death Star, the Type 4 Heavy, and the Mouse. The Mouse picked up a steel wall. And also to the PTZ-78 and the Object 430U on the enemy team. UbumPong only got the 1 kill, but that's okay because he was after the Confederate. And when it came to base XP, yes, you can see that straight away because he got 1,271 base experience points from that game. Second highest was the Type 4 Heavy with 1,134, and 1,117 went to the KR1. So he was the highest base XP on the game, and those are the only 3 who managed to make it over 1,000 base. He fired 20 rounds, so still had ammunition spare at the end of the game because you get 36 rounds of ammo in total. 8 direct hits on the enemy. None of them were penetrations, but 19 splash. I think in this game, there was a lot of tanks with lots of armor, so it was very difficult for him to get penetration shots. So despite the fact you saw holes on some of those tanks, they were non-penetration holes. 1,948 hit points of damage, all of it at more than 300 meters. 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 1 killed, so 7 difference, that's the Confederate, and 5,059 hit points of stun assist off 19 stuns. Yeah, we were showing about 3,000, but he actually did get a lot of blind hits in that game, and that's why the stun assist was so much higher. On a premium count, he earned 40,542 credits from the game and 9,534 experience points, including 7,628 from mission completion again. So 2 really good games in the Bat Chat 155-55. Fairly unloved Arty, but some people like it because, of course, it doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but it does carry a lot of ammo, which means unlike the Object 261, which has also got a similar, well, slightly bigger alpha, but it's actually they've got about the same reload time. So yes, this one is unloved, but it's actually quite good. Hope you enjoyed both those replays. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.